Remember that we said anything could be an input for a function. It could be a number, it could be a variable, it could be a symbol, or it could be an expression. Now we're going to take that idea a little further and also say that if we can put anything into a function, that means we could also put one function into another. When we do that, we call the result a composite function. A composite function is when we put one function into another. In other words, wherever it's asking for an input, that's where we'd put our function. It's sometimes written as fg of x, and that doesn't mean that you're going to multiply f by g. It just means that g is going into f. Or you might see it as fg of x with a small circle in between. That just means that this is a composite function. You're putting one into another. Let's see how this looks with some real functions, right? So let's say I have two functions, f of x, where f of x is 3x plus 1, and I have g of x, where g of x is x squared. And I want to find f of g of x, g of f of x, and f of x, right? So let me start with f of g of x. So if I want f of g of x, basically what it is saying is that I am going to put g into f. So I'm taking g, I'm taking whatever g is, and now I'm putting it into f. So wherever I see x, I'm going to put g. So that means instead of writing 3x plus 1, now I'm going to write 3 times whatever g is, which is x squared plus 1. Could you try to find g of f of x? Pause the video and see what you get. Okay, so we want to find g of f of x, right? And what that means is that we're putting f into g. You can kind of think about it like we're reading it backwards, or reading it from right to left. So we start with the function on the right and we put it in the one on the left. So that means wherever I see x in g of x, now I'm going to put f of x. So I'm putting f of x into g, okay? So that means, let me write down g. Since I have an x here, instead, I would be putting 3x plus 1 all squared. And probably you would even work it out further because you realize it would give us a quadratic equation. But this is fine because I just want you to get the idea of what a composite function means. Now in our third example, it says that we are finding f of x, right? f of x. So just like in the first one, we put g into f, and the second we put f into g. This simply means that we are going to put f back into f. So that means that wherever I see f, okay, wherever I see f, let me kind of try and write it here just to make it a little clearer. So since f of x is equal to 3x plus 1, now wherever I see x, I'm going to put 3x plus 1. I'm going to put this into f. So now if I write that here, that means I'm going to have 3 times 3x plus 1, and then I put back my plus 1 because that's a part of the function. So we're putting the same function into itself. And then now we'd have 3 times 3x, which is 9x, 3 times 3, which is, 3 times 1, which is 3. Put back the plus 1, so this would be 9x plus 4.